Women do you have?
I have multiple women. I'm a polygynous man, so I have multiple wives.
Wives, not girlfriends, not bitches.
Nah,
wives.
I don't want bitches. I used to deal with bitches back in the day.
What's wrong with bitches?
Man, bitches stress you out, boy. Bitches make you go broke. Now, bitches will make you go broke. Bitches will stress you out. And a bitch is a female dog. And the dog will bite your ass if you get them mad. So, you know, when you start taking on these words, you know, art imitate life. And you see women calling each other bitches. Brothers, you call yourself dogs, niggas. We call police pigs. You call somebody that backstab you a snake. So this is talking about the animalistic lower nature of mankind. I don't want no bitch because she low and resonant frequency, and I vibrate high. She can't do nothing for me. She can give me some pussy, but after I bust my nut, then what? I'm past that stage in my life, just busting a nut and moving on. You know, my life means something to me. I've been working hard. I'm building something. I'm a leader. I'm bringing the people with me. I'm saving humanity. So I need a woman that's going to help me out with that. I just don't want a woman that's going to lay on her back, you know, get my cum and then think she can get $1,000 to go get her hair and nails done. And that's the only exchange we got. You give me pussy and I give you money. I can just go find me some prostitutes for that. And that seems like that's what this new age is about. It's basically organized prostitution swept under the rug. And I just ain't with that. I'm trying to grow empire. And me, my workload, how many children I got, everything that I'm doing, and just the God in me, one woman just ain't for me. And I'm not knocking nobody that's into monogamy. I just ain't never been with one woman. I don't see myself being with one woman, and I just don't want to be with one woman. I'm building an empire, and it's going to take multiple divine goddesses to help me get that done.
Wow. Now, explain the difference between having bitches and having your wives.
Okay, so again, a bitch will bite you. It's a female dog. Sorry. You know what I'm saying? It's just a different ideology. So where I come from a Hebraic background. So, you know, you have concubine, then you have a woman that you're courting, then you have a wife. All of them respect you. All of them help out with the household, and all of them are there to help you with the vision. The man have the vision. So a man will have a vision of creating a home. So it's up to the man to do the P's. Everybody talking about the PPP loan. I'm talking about providing.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to give all glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Yahweh being the true name of the Heavenly Father, Yahushai being the true name of the Heavenly Son. Double honors to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone who taught me this truth. Peace and salutations to the Lord elect. I'm the Brother Barak. And I'm going to be doing this video on multiple wives. And multiple wives is 100% biblical. You know, you can have wives and you can have concubines, right? And as you can see in the clip that I played, the man in there, his name is Yaki. Now, the guy's kind of, he follows a Hebrew background. He has a Hebrew background. I think he claims to be a Moor of some sort. But, you know, he's probably from tribe of Judah. I don't know exactly, but he a Jake. He's an Israelite, right? But anyway, you know, dude, the dude's kind of like, you know, he on the, just so you know, he kind of on like this woman worshiping spirit, kind of, you know, calling his woman goddesses, and, you know, but that's, you know, he on, you know, he following a bunch of different things, but besides the point, right? Because that's not the point of this video. You know, the man is talking about multiple wives, and it is 100% biblical, right? Now I brought out the book of Isaiah 4:1, and it says, "In that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we shall eat our own bread, wear our own apparel, only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach." And so that's prophecy, man. You know, multiple wives is 100% biblical. And for those sincere women out there that know that, you know, the Lord's dealing with you, you know, because that's you know, it basically takes a lot of humility for that, and it takes it takes, you know, the Lord dealing with you, and you come in correctly, right? But the man basically goes on to explain, you know, he basically goes on to explain that, you know, he doesn't deal with, you know, bitches. You know, he deals with, you know, multiple women, and he doesn't deal with bitches, you know, and how you can pay for a prostitute if you want to just deal with a bitch. And that's kind of, and that's also biblical. You know, prostitutes were used in the ancient world. You know, people were paying for a prostitute, right? And there's multiple examples of that in the scriptures. Now, I'm gonna bring this scripture out for the woman out there, because you know these. But actually, before I get into this, I'm saying Isaiah 4:1, it's going to happen, and it's going to happen after a great calamity, you know, Jacob's trouble, because that's when these women are going to get into natural order, right? Because there has to be some sort of calamity that happens. So these because right now these women are haughty, right? So let's bring this out. So it's the book of Isaiah 32 and 9. It says, "Rise up, ye women that are at ease, hear my voice, ye careless daughters, give ear unto my speech." So these women that are at ease right now, you know, they're very prideful, very, you know, always talking about, you know, they're always having ridiculous standards. Salakia for the background noise. But you know, the thing is, man. Oh, 1 second, let me just move. Yeah. So the thing is, man, you know, these women. When Jacob's trouble happens, they're gonna come correctly, right? Right now though, you know, they're not. They would most of these women would never slide with, you know, a man dealing with multiple women, right? Now I'm gonna bring this scripture out. This is the book of Sirach 26 and verse 5 or verse 6. It says, "But a grief of a heart and sorrow is jealous, as a woman that is jealous over another woman, and scourge of the tongue which communicateth with all." So, you know, yeah, women right now, you know, most of them, if you have another woman, they're going to be jealous over that. You know, they're not going to want to support you. They're not going to want to, you know, they're not going to want to, you know, they want all the attention, because that's the economy right now is attention. You know, dopamine, attention, you know, with social media. It has these bitches thinking, you know, they're the golden prize, right? They're the prize. But you know, the scriptures say, you know, I will make a man more precious than fine gold, you know, more precious than the golden wedge of Ophir, right? Roughly paraphrasing. So you know, these women are not the prize; it's the men of the Lord. You know, the men, you know, specifically the elect men. You know, which Yahweh Hashem Yahushai set up to speak, you know, on this truth, right? You know, the men of the Lord are the prize. It's not these fucking women. These women are all used up. They're all their bodies are have contamination. You know what I'm saying? Right? They drink alcohol. They smoke vapes. Have all those you know, those needles that get stuck in them, if you know what I'm talking about. And that's part of Esau's plan to obviously, you know, control the population, right? So that's why we have to, you know, that's why first of all, you know, have multiple wives, right? Because if you're an Israelite, you can spread your seed line, you know, you can multiply it. Right, and also and multiple wives. You also need that, because shit like this, right? It says Deshaun Flood, 37-year-old man from Detroit, found out all 3 kids are not his, and you got another guy. I think it was like a 51-year-old a man who was married for 51 years. Never knew his kids were his. He was an old man. Found out his kids were not even his later on, right? That just goes to show the wickedness of these fucking people, you know. So this thing, these bitches, they're always doing something, right? They're always doing some wicked shit. You don't want to put all your energy into you know, one thing. You know, you don't got time for that. You know what I'm saying? You know, put all your because that's a spirit Esau gives people. You know, oh, you got to treat your wife with flowers. You know, give them all these, you know, special gifts and purses, jewelry. You know what I'm saying? You don't need all that bullshit. You just gotta basically, you know, put your seed in them, and then you know, deal with them, you know, from time to time, right? You don't gotta be living with them all day. You don't gotta be you know, you think King Solomon, that man was, you know, living with all his women all day? You know what I'm saying? He had 700 wives, 300 concubines. You think he just sitting down watching Netflix, while watching entertainment all day? You know what I'm saying? But that's a spirit. There's the spirit of these people. You know, the people are sluggards. You know, that's why the Lord got to destroy this place. He's got to destroy. You know, because everything's been corrupted. You know, it's only going to be like this for so much longer, because we're Jacob's trouble. You know, some people say we're already in it. You know, some, you know, we're you know, because ICE is taking people up. Martial law. You're starting to see DJT. You know, Caesar Nero start putting his troops, you know, in cities, right? So these women, they're gonna realize the problems that they thought they had are not actually problems. You know what I'm saying? And they better get with the men of the Lord. You know, not some fucking bachelor fucking loser. You know, not some fucking you know, some dude with a bunch of money, but the men of the Lord. That's who they should get with. You know what I'm saying? And the Lord's gonna set it up that way. You know, because the Lord he's you know, he's great with everything he does. You know, he works in mysterious ways, right? And so but that's besides the point. You know, multiple wives is 100% biblical. You know what I'm saying? It's lucky. I had to get my cat to shut up. Anyway, you see this comment right here. It says, these kind of women he's talking about are rare to meet these modern day. And yeah, that guy's exactly right. You know, like, and the, you know, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, he's going to set it up where these women aren't going to be complaining about anything. And he's going to give us the few sincere, righteous women. You know, don't get mad right now on this side if you ain't getting anything. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, the Lord's going to set it up to where, you know, he's going to give us everything we need. You know, he's not going to give us these bitches with, you know, multiple dicks put inside of them, you know, all these different men's sperm, right? Because a woman also stores a man's sperm in their brain as well, right? But anyway, right? So the guy in the clip though, Yaki Awaken, you know, he's absolutely right. You know, he deals with multiple women, and that's what happens when you're high status, you know, high value, right? When you have when you're the top of society, or you just have something these women offer. You know, there's they're saying women want to start to share you, right? But that's exactly what's going to happen when, you know, the men of the Lord are put on a pedestal. The Lord is going to exalt the men of the Lord, right? These women are going to see that these fucking losers in society, you know, these people we're just a bunch of average Joes compared to the men of the Lord, right? Men of the Lord are going to have it all, you know. Nothing's gonna be able to get in their way. You know, we're gonna be basically, you know, untouchable, because the Lord is dealing with us, right? While the rest of these people out here are just gonna get destroyed. You know, so that's that's what's coming, man. And you just gotta be patient because patience is the first thing, right? We know the Lord is you gotta just have faith. The Lord is dealing with you, right? And Esau ain't gonna get this. Moab ain't gonna get this. We're gonna take his woman. We're definitely taking his woman. What he's not gonna, he ain't gonna be able to have this. He has that simp spirit. He has that spirit of sharing. A woman who's been shared by multiple dudes, right? Which is the exact same spirit these people are on now. Back then, you had these women chasing, men. You had these women trying to get with the men of higher status, right? And they still do, but now you have these men that have yachts and money, all this nonsense. They're over here simping for girls, saying, women that have, mind you, these are women that have been ran through by 10, 15, 30 different dudes, and they're saying, oh yeah, well you have, I'll get you a yacht, or I'll get you this, Gucci purse, or I'll let you stay in my house. It was completely out of order. The Lord's going to destroy these people. He's going to blow them up with nukes. 200 million, nukes are going to hit USA. The United States is going to clear it out. So we're not going to have to deal with this shit much longer. It's going to scare these people, and that's when you're going to start seeing this stuff like this happen. That's when you're going to start seeing multiple wives happen. But these prophecies have to take place first, so we got to be patient, man. But yeah, I just want to make this quick lesson. Hopefully it was edifying. I'm going to say, Call Allah, Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahushai, Ba'ashim, B'Kakodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone who taught me this truth. Peace and salutations to the Lord elect. And 1/3, and the brother Brock. Shalom.